अब लाइव स्ट्रीमिंग हो गया। अब लाइव माइक माइक की तो पड़ा क्या माइक हम कैसे बोलिए हैं? आज स्कूल से बाहर आए हैं सर। आए हैं स्कूल से, लेकिन स्कूल से चले आए ट्रेनिंग के लिए। ठीक है, स्कूल में ना है। हाँ, किसी और से ले लीजिए ना, किसी को दे दीजिए वहाँ। ठीक। हाँ आ गए।
काम कर रहा है।
हाँ अभी तो कर रहा है थोड़ा देर। आप देर से आए तो अच्छा हुआ, हम लोग सेटअप कर लिए सारा। आपको इंतजार नहीं करना। ये जो है नहीं आना पड़ेगा, करना पड़ेगा। स्पीकर 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 बंद कर दीजिए, बहुत आवाज कर रहा है। एक रूम में पर्याप्त होगा क्या? इसको बंद कर दिया ना, आवाज पर्याप्त है। माइक बंद कर दीजिए, माइक बंद कर दीजिए। एक रूम के लिए माइक की आवश्यकता नहीं होती। हाँ बोलिए ना, उसको माइक की जरूरत नहीं है, हम भी बंद करवा दिए।
फूलों की दुकान करें, खुशबू का प्यार करें, द्वार पधारे अतिथि भगवान, सब ताली से सत्कार करें। स्वागत करते हैं हमारे राम मंदिर परिवार की ओर से आपका स्वागत है। और हम बुलाने जा रहे हैं अपनी छात्राओं को जो आपके स्वागत गान की प्रस्तुति करेंगे। स्वागत करने के लिए आइए अपने छात्रा।
जाएगा। एक बार अनम्यूट करके म्यूट कर दिए, म्यूट करके अनम्यूट कर दिए। जा तो रहा है आवाज, नहीं जा रहा है? ठीक है, तब अब देखिए आपको आ रही है आवाज। है ना? फोटो ले लीजिए, फोटो ले लीजिए।
आदरणीय भागलपुर संज्ञा के अध्यक्ष महोदय, साथ ही साथ आनंद राम ठंडानिया से आए हुए हमारे प्रशिक्षक अतिथिगण, रामकृष्ण विद्या मंदिर के उपस्थित सभी शिक्षक शिक्षिकाओं, आज सर्वप्रथम रामकृष्ण विद्या मंदिर के प्रांगण में सभी का मैं हृदय से स्वागत करती हूँ और बहुत खुशी हो रही है कि हमारा भागलपुर भी हर कार्यक्रम में आगे निकल रहा है। जिस काम में हमारा भागलपुर जिला अभी तक सहोदया संगठन की स्थापना नहीं कर सका था, तो शिक्षक प्रशिक्षण के लिए इस कार्यक्रम में हमारे क्षेत्र के सीबीएसई एफिलिएटेड विद्यालय आनंद राम ठंडानिया और वहाँ के प्रधानाचार्य महोदय श्री अनंत सिन्हा जी का मैं हृदय से धन्यवाद ज्ञापित करती हूँ और आभार महसूस कर रही हूँ कि हम लोगों के लिए यह बड़ा कठिन महसूस हो रहा था कि इन हाउस शिक्षक प्रशिक्षण का कार्यक्रम 25 किस प्रकार से पूरा किया जाए। और सर से बातचीत की क्षण भर में मेरी समस्या का समाधान निकल गया। सर बड़े इस सहज भाव में मुझको कहे कि आपको बिल्कुल चिंता करने की आवश्यकता नहीं है और मेरे उस कार्यक्रम को आज सफल बनाने के लिए 12 किलोमीटर दूर से अपने व्यस्त कार्यक्रमों को छोड़कर इस रामकृष्ण विद्या मंदिर के कार्यक्रम को इन्होंने प्राथमिकता दिया है। इसके लिए हम लोग इनके सदैव आभारी रहेंगे और यह बहुत ही सुनहरा अवसर है कि सीबीएसई के द्वारा जो अभियान चलाया जा रहा है, नई शिक्षा नीति को सफल रूप में कार्यान्वित करने के लिए शिक्षकों को पूर्णतया प्रशिक्षित होना चाहिए और इस कार्यक्रम के द्वारा हर शिक्षक को यह अवसर मिल रहा है कि अपनी शिक्षण पद्धति को अधिक और सुंदर ढंग से प्रस्तुतिकरण की तकनीकी को प्राचीन और आधुनिकता को लेते हुए शिक्षा को आगे बढ़ाएंगे। यह कार्यक्रम 5 दिनों का है। प्रतिदिन 4 प्रशिक्षक 1-1 घंटे का रामकृष्ण विद्या मंदिर में प्रशिक्षण देंगे और इसका लाभ हम सभी को लेना है। इसके साथ ही मैं सिंहासन से आग्रह करूंगी कि वह हमारे शिक्षकों को विशेष संबोधन दें। जय हिंद, जय भारत।
जो इज्जत बख्शा है इसके लिए पूरी टीम को बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद। आज रामकृष्ण के स्पॉन्सर में उपस्थित महोदया, भागलपुर सहोदया के अंतर्गत तमाम हमारे शिक्षक बंधु और इस विद्यालय परिवार के तमाम शिक्षक बंधु है। सामान्य रूप से जब कभी भी बातें आती हैं शिक्षा नीतियों की, शिक्षा नीतियां हमारी जरूरत के आधार पर बनती आई और बदलती आई। पुराने समय को अगर आप देखें 1986 फिर मॉडर्न ट्रांसफॉर्मेशन के साथ 1992 2005 और अब पूरे विश्व का अगर देखा जाए तो शिक्षा नीति के निर्धारण में अब तक का सबसे बड़ा सर्वेक्षण और सबसे बड़े सर्वेक्षण के आधार पर जिन नीतियों को हमने चिन्हित किया है, मैं तो यह नहीं कहूँगा कि किसी व्यक्ति विशेष ने, किसी समूह ने चिन्हित किया है, हम सारे लोग इसके सहभागी हैं। भूतकाल के अनुभव को हमने साझा किया है, वर्तमान की चुनौतियों को देखा है और भविष्य की संभावनाओं की संकल्पनाओं के साथ इस प्रकार की योजना रचना की है कि कैसे किस प्रकार से देश का भविष्य, हमारा भविष्य हमारे सामने, क्योंकि सपने सुंदर होते हैं लेकिन जब नींद खुलती है तो दृश्य बदल जाता है। और डॉक्टर APJ कलाम ने भी कहा कि सपने वो तो सपने वो नहीं कि सोने के बाद आए और सामान्य स्थिति में सोने के बाद सपने आए। तो इससे बाहर निकलने के राष्ट्रीय शिक्षा नीति में कई सारे परिवर्तन हुए, बड़ा परिवर्तन हुआ है। ये सब आपके सामने जग जाएंगे। पूरी दुनिया जान रही है कि भारत ने इतना बड़ा कदम उठाया है तो कैसे उठाया है, किस उठाया है और ऐसे सहारों के साथ उठाया है। इन्होंने योजना तो बनाई राष्ट्रीय शिक्षा नीति 2020 का क्रियान्वयन सफलतापूर्वक होगा, लेकिन वो खुद 1968, 1986, 2005 की शिक्षा नीतियों में पले बड़े हुए। मैं उस आंगन में खेला हूं और नए आंगन में जाना है, नई योजनाओं के साथ जाना है। रूप से शिक्षण की आवश्यकता हो। शिक्षा के क्षेत्र में कई एक ट्रांसफॉर्मेशन आए और ट्रांसफॉर्मेशन ऐसे कि अब सब्जेक्ट कंटेंट की कहीं कोई बात नहीं है। मल्टीडिसिप्लिनरी अप्रोच एसेंशियल हो गई। सब्जेक्ट भी दूसरे सब्जेक्ट के साथ कनेक्टिविटी आवश्यक हो गई और ऐसे में हमारा शिक्षण नितांत आवश्यक है। और इसी दृष्टि से CBSE ने इन हाउस ट्रेनिंग की संकल्पना को निर्धारित किया है कि 25 आवर इन हाउस ट्रेनिंग हो और 25 आवर CBSE प्लेट ऑनलाइन या ऑफलाइन, यानी 50 आवर का ट्रेनिंग मैंडेटरी किया। यह एक प्रयास है, पहल है, जिसमें हम अपने आप को, अपनी कंटेंट को और व्यवस्थित कर सकते हैं। वक्त नहीं, परिस्थितियां बदली हैं और इन परिस्थितियों में शिक्षा शास्त्र के हिसाब से टीपेट कॉन्सेप्ट भी आया। यानी आप सिर्फ पैडागॉजिकल थ्योरी की अगर बात करेंगे, सिर्फ डिलीवरी ऑफ कंटेंट नहीं है,
कि हमने कंटेंट डिलीवर किया हमारे ड्यूटी और अब उसके साथ फिलोसॉफिकल कॉन्सेप्ट भी आपको जोड़ना पड़ेगा, एथिकल कॉन्सेप्ट भी जोड़ना पड़ेगा, सोशल कॉन्सेप्ट भी आपको जोड़ना पड़ेगा, ताकि ये जो अभी वर्टिकल लर्निंग ट्रांसफॉर्मेशन है, हाई पोटेंशियल टू लो पोटेंशियल साइंस वाले लोग बोलते हैं कि भाई कोई भी चीज ऊपर से नीचे की तरफ जाता है, और क्लासरूम में भी एक्चुअली अब तक यही हो रहा था, वर्टिकल ट्रांसफॉर्मेशन था, नॉलेज मेरा था, मैं आपके सामने रख रहा था, आप उसको एज इट इज कॉपी कर रहे थे, लेकिन सच्चाई यह थी कि वो नॉलेज था ही, दैट वाज ओनली द इंफॉर्मेशन, सिर्फ सूचना थी। अब उस सूचना को नॉलेज तक लेकर के चलना है, इस दायित्व को हमने इस जर्नी करेंगे जब आप पूरी तरह से वर्तमान संदर्भों के साथ अपने आप को तैयार कर पाएंगे, यानी टेक्नोलॉजिकल पैथोलॉजिकल कंटेंट शेयरिंग आपके पास होनी है। मैं बहुत अच्छा सब्जेक्ट टीचर हूँ, फिजिक्स हमारी बहुत अच्छी, हमने फिजिक्स रख दिया, लेकिन फिजिक्स हर व्यक्ति समझ सके इसलिए उसका इन्वॉल्वमेंट भी हो, उसका एक्सपीरियंशियल विजन भी हो, और इस दृष्टि से एक्सपेरिमेंटल और एक्सपीरियंशियल लर्निंग के कॉन्सेप्ट को भी उजागर किया है। और ये काम इतना सरल नहीं है, लेकिन इसके लिए हम लोग निरंतर प्रयास कर रहे हैं, सीबीएसई प्रयास कर रही है। भागलपुर सहोदया की संकल्पना किसी सीबीएसई ने डीडीपीसी का दायित्व मुझको सौंप दिया और मुझसे जानकारी ली कि भाई आपके जिले के अंतर्गत कितने प्रशिक्षण हुए, मुझे लगा कि समूह का प्रशिक्षण कराना है तो कैसे कराया जाए, तो औने पौने भागलपुर सहोदया का निर्माण, और ये कहते हुए मुझे गर्व की अनुभूति हो रही है कि अब तक इतने कम समय में उससे 1.5 महीने का हुआ है, इस 1.5 महीने के वक्त में 63 विद्यालय 63 एफिलिएटेड स्कूल भागलपुर सहोदया के साथ जुड़ चुके हैं, और मुझको ऐसा लग रहा है कि इस गति से हम लोग आगे बढ़ रहे हैं कि हमारा जो ग्रुप होगा मिनिमम 500 स्कूल्स का होगा, और इसको और इम्पावर करने के लिए हम चाहते हैं कि हमारे हर एक विद्यालय से कम 2 रिसोर्स पर्सन हो और सहोदया को इम्पावर करें। अभी तत्काल विद्या भारती बिहार के सहयोग से हमारे पास कुछ रिसोर्स पर्सन उपलब्ध हो पाए हैं, लेकिन मैं चाहता हूं कि धीरे धीरे इस कड़ी में और भी लोग जुड़े। बहन नवीन से हैं तो नवीन से भी, और अपना जनता सलाह किया डीएवी हराई, इन जगहों से भी हमारे पास रिसोर्स पर्सन अभी उपलब्ध हैं, और मैं आग्रह करूंगा सभी से कि आप अपने आप को किसी एक टॉपिक पर पूर्णतः तैयार करें और भागलपुर सहोदया को और अधिक से अधिक आप एम्पावर करें, इसी आग्रह के साथ कि हम लोग जहां रहेंगे जीत का मशाल लेकर चलेंगे, और भागलपुर सहोदया की तो पहचान होगी। पटना रीजनल ऑफिस में जब कभी पटना आरओ में जब कभी विवाद हो तो नंबर 1 चॉइस आज पटना सहोदया है, नंबर 1 चॉइस भागलपुर सहोदया बने, भागलपुर सहोदया ही पूरे सीबीएसई ट्रेनिंग को इम्पार्ट करे, इम्पावर करे, ऐसी अपेक्षा है, और इस अपेक्षा में आपके सहयोग का भागलपुर सहोदया का प्रेसिडेंट होने के नाते मैं आकांक्षी हूं, और आशा करता हूं कि आप लोगों का निरंतर सहयोग मिलेगा। जय हिंद। स्टार्ट करें भाई राजेश की।
और आज का दिन जो है कुछ दिन है, आज ADSVM जमालपुर वाक्य याद आता है, मेरी कलम उससे इतना पहचान रखी है, मैं इश्क लिखता हूँ हिमालयन स्थापित हो जाए, और इसमें लगभग या ज्यादा से ज्यादा 500 से ज्यादा स्कूल जुड़ जाए। ये जो इन्होंने आग्रह किया है, कामना है, हम लोग इनका समर्थन करते हैं और कोशिश करेंगे कि और जितने हों, उन्होंने बोला कि 2 स्कूल पर्सन हमारे विद्यालय से, हमारे प्रदेश का हर एक विद्यालय से कोशिश करेंगे कि हम लोग अपने विद्यालय में कोई भी पर्सन कलेक्ट कर पाए। और सबसे कि जो आज का इतिहास है और है हमारे राकेश सर और विषय है प्रैक्टिस, इनको शुरू करने का किया जाए। और जियो प्रैक्टिस, क्योंकि आपको यहाँ से तो मिल जाएगा। जैसा कि सर ने कहा ही है, तो हम लोग सेशन स्टार्ट करने से पहले ग्रुप फोटोग्राफी कर लेते हैं, उसके बाद सेशन स्टार्ट करते हैं।
वही यहीं से फोटो खींच लीजिए, जैसे बैठे हुए, तो बैठे हुए वैसे, जैसे बैठे हुए वैसे फोटो, कोई बात नहीं, खींचना तो जाना, हमारा तो लाइव आ ही जाएगा, हमारा लाइव आ जाएगा।
Kindly unmute your sound. Now the program is going to start, and every session will run for 1 hour. यह कार्यक्रम प्रत्येक 1-1 घंटे का होगा और ये पहला सत्र अभी जो स्टार्ट होने जा रहा है वो सत्र प्रैक्टिस का है, जिसके प्रेजेंटर है मिस्टर राजेश कुमार। इसके पहले मैं आपको ये बताना चाहता हूँ ADSVM इस कार्यक्रम में देवी बरारी भागलपुर रामकृष्ण विद्या मंदिर होस्टिंग कर रहा है। हिमालयन एकेडमी, जवाहर नवोदय विद्यालय नगरपारा, न्यू एरा पब्लिक स्कूल मुंगेर, गुरु कृपा एकेडमी कहलगांव, न्यू होराइजन पब्लिक स्कूल भागलपुर, SBM जमालपुर और SBM मुंगेर, ये सब इसमें पार्टिसिपेट कर रहे हैं। और मेरा एक हम्बल रिक्वेस्ट है कि सारे स्टूडेंट्स अपने अपने स्मार्ट रूम में जो टीचर अभी बैठे हैं उनका एक जियो टैगिंग फोटो भी शूट करेंगे और अपने स्तर से कार्यक्रम का रिकॉर्डिंग भी करेंगे। धन्यवाद। हर एक सेशन का रिकॉर्डिंग करना है आपको अपने स्तर से भी, और सहोदया भी आपको यूट्यूब लिंक जारी करेगी, और फोटो हर एक सेशन का लेना है जियो टैगिंग करके। धन्यवाद। Mr. Rajesh Kumar, and you watch the training program presented by Mr. Rajesh Kumar. The topic is experiential learning in practice. Thank you. Over to Rajesh Kumar.
Welcome to you all participants who are present here, online or offline. Bhagalpur Sahodhya welcomes you in this in-house training program. As you know, इसको मिनिमाइज कर दो। हेलो हेलो हेलो, कम हियर सर, मिनिमाइज
ये स्क्रीन पर आता नहीं है, अपने आपको पढ़ने में दिक्कत होगी ना। वो अपने आप हो छोड़ दीजिए, उसको छोड़ दीजिए, उसको नहीं करनी कुछ।
Okay, respected teachers, as you know, the topic for this very session is experiential learning in practice, and this session is being started. Before I speak something, I would like to explain what is experience. For that, your help is needed. Here there are some words written. You will write name of a person in your notebook. Number 1 is busy for nothing. The person whom you think he is busy for nothing, you should write his name in your copy. The person in your view who is busy for nothing, you should write his or her name. All have written the name. Second name is always ready to help. Name of the person who is always ready to help. Generally, I have written here some characters, and these types of characters are found in the life of each and everyone. Either that will be in your surrounding or in the campus where you are working. So on the basis of that, you will write the name. Third one is short-tempered. It means who becomes angry. If you tell any word, just he will become angry. Okay, you will write the name. Fourth one is very loyal to organization. It means he is always ready to do any positive work for the organization. Whenever the organization needed him or her, that person is present for the organization. As your organization is like your school, and he is always ready for school. Number 5 is proud. Name of a person who is very proud. And number 6, that is good sense of dressing. When you see him or her, it is your desire that you also look like him or her. You want to be smart like him or her due to his sense of dressing. All have written names. Sir, you will write tell the names. Like first one, busy for nothing, who is in your view?
First of all,
you should tell the name. I am only tell the name. busy for nothing.
I'm just explaining. Please.
Okay.
From first, busy for nothing, I have implied that name Nirmohi. Nirmohi is my
Okay, only name that is enough.
And second,
Okay.
always ready to help. That is Radha. My
Okay.
colleague, short temper, angry. And that is physical teacher, my professor.
Yes.
And very loyal to organization, which will agree my Deepak sir. And title proud, obviously my principal. And last, good sense of learning through the science teacher.
Okay, thank you, sir. It means you have written the names on the basis of experience. Whatever you experienced in your life, on the basis of that, you have written those names. And whatever we learn on the basis of experience, that is called experiential learning. As principal sir or the president of Shahodia, Mr. Anant Kumar Sinha said that there is need of training because CBSE has decided National Education Policy 2020 will be followed. And according to National Education Policy 2020, there should be training of 50 hours of teachers. Experiential learning is a part of NEP 2020. It has been discussed in chapter 4.6, chapter 4.7 and chapter 4.8. If you read these chapters, chapter 4.6, 4.7 and 4.8 of NEP 2020, that time you will find that these all chapters are dedicated to experiential learning. By these two pictures, you can easily understand what is experiential learning. You should see there is a boy who has a burden of books, and due to burden of books, he is not feeling easy in his life. In another picture, there is a girl, she is doing experiment. You should see her face is glowing. She is very happy. She is smiling. It means she is also learning and that boy is also learning. But when we think that we will learn each and everything from the book, that time it becomes a burden for us. But when we think we will learn from experiment, we will learn from experience, that time it gives us joy in our life. We should know what is learning. Learning is the process of acquiring new skills, understanding, knowledge, behaviors, values, attitudes, and preferences. One thing you should mind that this PPT will be given to you in your group, so there is no problem. Okay. When you acquire any type of new skill, you develop your understanding, you increase your knowledge. There is changing in your behavior, in your values, in your attitude, in your preferences. That is called learning. And what is experiential learning? Experiential learning is the process of learning through experience. It means on the basis of experience, we learn something, and that is called experiential learning. There is a child here. He wants to touch the fire. This happens in life of each and everyone. When we are kids, when we are small, that time fire is a matter of attraction for us. Everyone wants to touch the fire. And what happens? Elders prohibit. They say, don't touch it. But there is no effect of these words on those children. Ultimately, you will see that children touches the fire. After touching the fire, he feels heat. His body part burns, and it gives experience to a child. And when a child experiences what is in fire, after that, that child will not touch fire. Even you say that child you should touch it, no, that child will not be ready for it. It means now that child has learned from his experience that touching fire is dangerous. We learn. How do we learn? It is said that if you read anything, that time you learn 10% of that thing. It means if you read 10 pages, that time there will be 1 page in your memory. It means 110. 20% of what we hear. Suppose you hear from anyone. there is lecture of 10 minutes. It means that time you will memorize lectures of 4 minutes. 30% of what we see, suppose there is display here, you see many things here. So if you see anything, that time you learn 30% of that thing. And 50% of what we see and hear. If audio visual, it means both are going on. Someone is speaking and you are also watching. It is done in primary sections. If we have to teach this is cow, that time we also show the picture of cow and we tell this is cow. That time that learning is 50%. And 70% of what we discuss. If there is a discussion, that time you will learn 70% of all those matters. And 80% of what we experience. It means if you experience anything, that time that matter will be in your mind, and that is the percentage, that is 80%. Now the question arises, what are the areas where we can adopt experiential learning? Okay. Some areas. First one is arts integrated learning. Chapter 4.7 of NEP 2020 discusses arts integrated learning. In that chapter, it has been said that we will learn Indian art and culture. As you know, India is a country which has a very old culture. It means we have the oldest culture in the world. All the cultures and civilizations that existed before 2000 years or 5000 years, now you will not find those civilizations or culture present in the world. But Indian culture still exists. If you want to see Indian culture, which was before 10,000 years or before 20,000 years, if you go to the villages of India, that time you will find the same culture present in villages. And as you know, India is a country of villages. It means we have to learn from our culture, and there are a lot of things in our culture to teach us. As you saw, when the pandemic came, that time it was proved that our culture was the best, and that was cleanliness. And due to cleanliness, we could overcome the disease or pandemic like COVID. So art integrated learning should be based on Indian art and culture. Learning through the arts and learning with the arts. This chapter says that you should learn through the arts and you should learn with the art. Actually, there are two types of arts. First one is visual art and second one is performing art. What are the things which include visual arts? Like drawing and painting, clay modeling. Nowadays clay is present. You will see that we give or art teachers gives a lot of project work related to clay, pottery, paper craft, mask and puppet making. These are visual arts. Next one is performing art. In performing art, there is music, dance, theater, puppetry. As when we started our session, before that there was music, and that was the part of performing art. So we will learn through the art and with the art, and in art we will include these all things: drawing, painting, clay modeling, pottery, paper craft, mask and puppet making, music, dance, theater, and puppetry. Next one is sports integrated learning. There was a saying, पढ़ोगे लिखोगे तो बनोगे नवाब, खेलोगे कूदोगे तो होगे खराब. This was the saying, this was a popular slogan when we were small or we were school going students. But nowadays, it said that there should be sports integrated learning. It means on the basis of sports, on the basis, you should try to learn. If you learn with the sports, that time your learning will be very good. Due to games and sports, nowadays there are so many persons who are famous in the world. Nowadays, good players are known all over the world. That person may be weak in reading, but due to game, that person has learned his name and fame all over the world. So it is said that there should be sports integrated learning, and sports can be included in each and every subject. Now I am giving you an example. Actually, I am a student of literature. So in literature, how game can be added? Here there is an example. Drop naming words while reading. Is there any teacher of English here? Yes, you are. Please come, sir, to help me. You will stand up, please, sir. Just there is a stanza written there. You have to read that stanza, but you have to drop the naming words. How you will read? Just I am reading one sentence. When there will be noun, you will not say, you will only say whom. Whom. Like there were two clever. It means there were two clever. Okay, you will read whole stanza.
There were two clever whom they lived in whom they were whom was gentle and honest, but whom was wicked and dishonest. Both were never. Once whom decided to go to whom he had no to look after his house and money. He went to whom and requested for it.
Somewhere there by a mistake. Where? Yes. House and money are naming words. Anyone more want to read it? Anyone more dropping the noun? Like sir has committed one or two mistakes. Okay, anyone more? No. Yes, sir. Yes.
There were two clever men.
Once again, you should start.
There were two clever men. They lived in a there were and was gentle and honest, but was very greedy and dishonest. Both were neighbors. Once decided to go to he had no one to look after his and he went to him and requested for it.
Okay, thank you, sir. Many thanks. Just you should say that if you have gone to teach students naming words or noun, And if you give a stanza like him, all students will enjoy it. And they all will tell, sir, I want to read it. And while reading, they all will understand which are nouns or which are naming words. It means when we go with the 10 names to tell him that you should know that these are the naming words, you should memorize these words, that is boring. But if you apply a game like this in the classroom, at time children will enjoy it and all will like it. And all will like to participate. Even those students who are backbenchers, who wants to sit on the last bench, they will also be active if there is an activity related to sports. So there should be sports integrated learning. You should see that here there are some pictures. These are Indian games and we used to play these games. Can you name this game? Yes, sir. Very good. Yes, yes. Have you played Kit, sir? Oh, actually, this is especially for girls, but boys also enjoy this game. Yes. Now this game. Yes, yes, yes. This one? Yes, this game was very popular. And when we returned after playing this game, danda was used for us. It was going on in our houses. When you come returned with that gilli and danda, that time that was a stick for our parents. Okay. This one? Okay. This? Yes, yes, yes. This, who has played this game? You have played, sir? Yes, yes. And this one? Yes. This was just like high jump. Okay. Yes, yes, yes. This is in the beginning of the game. Later on that point will come in the game. When we see pictures of these games, that time we memorize our old age. And these all things made you happy. In the same way, it also makes happy to students, to children. You should see this game. This game. Now it is the question, when we play, what types of qualities do we learn? Would you like to explain? By games, which type of qualities do we learn? Okay.
Sense of environment.
Very good.
Teamwork.
Teamwork. Okay.
Decision making.
Decision making.
Courageousness.
Courageousness. Yes. And more. Teamwork. Discipline.
Making sense of responsibility.
Yes, yes.
Making confidence.
Making bondage. Bonded. Yes. And sense of responsibility. It means we learn a lot of things in the playground. You have told so many qualities. I have also written some qualities that we develop, like collaboration, self-initiative, self-direction, self-discipline, teamwork, responsibility, citizenship. But you have described much and more. It means this list is a very little list that we learn in the playground. We learn so many things in the playground, and that is very good for life. It means what we learn in the playground, that is needed in our whole life. Why there should be sports integrated learning, because there is dream of our country to achieve something. What do we achieve through this sports integrated learning? That is Fit India movement. Our government has started Fit India movement. खेलेगा इंडिया, बढ़ेगा इंडिया. And we have to do a lot of work in the area of field. You will see there are some small countries in the world, but they win lots of Olympic medals. We are a big country, but number of medals can be counted on fingertips, which we bring from Olympic. So our government has started Fit India movement. It is also necessary for holistic development. It means for all-round development of students, game is necessary. Sports is necessary. Nowadays you will see that we prohibit our children to go out of the grill, to go out of our gate. We think if he will go out of the campus of our house, that time there will be bad effect. But due to this, holistic development is not possible. Let them play, let them learn. Promoting physical and psychological well-being. It is said that in healthy body, there is healthy mind. If your health is not good, that time your mind is also not working in proper way. So it is necessary that if you want to be mentally strong, you should be physically strong. And for getting good physical health, game plays a very good role. Next one is storytelling based pedagogy. Generally, children love stories. Whenever you are entering the class and students are not in mood of learning, they don't want to read, you tell or you say, today I am telling a story. You will see that suddenly the whole class is charged and all are attentive to you. It means stories plays magic on children. We learn emotions from stories. They can teach us empathy. Through a story, you can take your children to a journey of that very place from where that story is related. Stories make us laugh, cry, jump, and after that we are very happy. It means there is a very good effect of story on us. It is said that APJ Abdul Kalam used to listen stories of Lord Ram and Prophet Muhammad when he was child. Even in our childhood, we liked our Dadi Ma or Nani Ma because she is a very good storyteller. Whenever we feel bored, that time we used to go to our Nani Ma or Dadi Ma for listening stories, tell a story. And what was she doing? She was telling the story of Ramayana. She was telling the story of Mahabharata. She was telling different type of stories of great men. and we learned a lot of things from those stories. All children know about Ram and Sita. They all have not read Ramayana. They know about Pandav and Kaurav. They have not read Mahabharata. But due to listening stories, they know about their culture, how great our country was. So storytelling based pedagogy is needed in our classroom. And you can teach students a lot of things with the help of storytelling. Many qualities can be developed in children with stories. Generally, when there is prayer time, one moral story is told in almost all schools. It means our teaching or our learning starts from that very prayer time. It is from that story children learn a lot of things. You may have heard about Mahatma Gandhi. He heard the story of Raja Harishchandra. And there was a great effect of that story on Mahatma Gandhi. And he decided, I will always speak the truth. I will not tell a lie. And it made Mahatma Gandhi the father of nation. This was the effect of a story. So if you are a good storyteller, that time there is very good effect of stories on children. Now you will write a story. When you go in the classroom, you can also tell students to create stories. Just see, there is a picture. There are different pictures. Okay. Can anyone tell a story on the basis of these pictures? Anyone? See the pictures, and on the basis of this picture, you should tell a story, short story. These pictures are able to tell any story or not?
Yes.
Yes. Can you tell any story, sir?
Sure.
Okay, sir. Please. Please. Yes, sir. No problem. Yeah.
There was
You can also tell in Hindi. No problem.
एक जंगल में एक लड़का लकड़ी काट रहा था। उस लकड़ी से उसने टेबल बनाना स्टार्ट किया और उस टेबल को अपनी घर में डाइनिंग टेबल या उस तरह का वो यूज करता है।
Any moral from this story? Yes, yes, sir. You want? Yes.
यहाँ पर ये जो कटर है वो पेड़ को काट रहा है और इससे जो पेड़ है जिसके चलते हम लोग जीवित हैं और वो ऑक्सीजन देता है, हम लोग कार्बन डाइऑक्साइड छोड़ते हैं। तो ये लड़का बहुत बड़ा जघन्य अपराध कर रहा है, क्राइम कर रहा है, पेड़ काट कर।
Your story, sir?
मेरे स्टोरी का शीर्षक है मैं हूँ फर्नीचर।
जी।
मैं फर्नीचर हूँ। क्या तुम जानते हो मेरी उत्पत्ति कैसे हुई है? मेरी उत्पत्ति लकड़ी से हुई। लकड़ी जो जंगल में मिलती है पेड़ों से। पहले मुझे पेड़ों से काटा जाता है, फिर उसे फैक्ट्री में ला करके छोटे छोटे टुकड़े किए जाते हैं, जिससे मेज, टेबल, कुर्सी और बहुत सारी चीज बनते हैं। और उसी में से एक है फर्नीचर टेबल, जो आज तुम्हारे खाने के टेबल के नीचे में पड़ा हुआ है।
It means picture is the same, but view of different people are different. It means if there are 5 students in the class, they will tell you 5 stories. Picture is the same. So you should go in the class and you should present these types of things to students. Just you should see there is another picture. On the basis of these pictures, any madam should say any story. Okay? On the basis of this picture, one story should be said. Yes, one madam should say. There should be active participation of madam also. You want to say? Okay, okay.
बच्चा ऐसा थोड़ी ना वो आता है जा रहा है एक भाई बच्ची को देखता है और उन्हें आता है बच्चे लाता है और घर में पैच करके रखता है।
Please say loudly.
बहुत अच्छे तरीके से उसका देखभाल कर रहा है, खाना पीना दे रहा है। दूसरे दिन वह खिड़की से देखता है कि जो पक्षी उदास है। दूसरे दिन वह देखता है कि बाहर नए पर जो पक्षी है वो जहाँ रात आ रहा है। एक ऐसा होता है कि मेरा पक्षी जो है यह आजाद नहीं है, इस कारण से वो बाहर जो पक्षी आजाद है, इस कारण से जो है वो खुश है। मेरे पास जो पक्षी है अच्छी देखभाल कर रहा हूँ, मैंने उसका देखभाल किया फिर भी वह जो है खुश नहीं। उसके बाद उससे प्रेरणा मिलती है पक्षी को पूरे आसमान में।
Yes, very good. You wanted to tell story. आप कहना चाह रही थी the same thing, but words will be different. If you will tell the story, your words will change. There will be sense may be same. So there are different types of pictures available which will be used for telling story. Just one, there is one more picture here. Only this is not enough. You can also give some theme to students, and on the basis of that theme or those words, they can create stories. Suppose you give them 3 words to create a story. You give छोटा सा बालक, एक बूढ़ी औरत, एक सांप. You should give these 3 words to students and tell that you should tell a story on the basis of these 3 words: boy, old woman, and snake. You will see that different children will make different stories. If I give you time here, all will create a story on basis of only these 3 words, and your stories will be different from others' stories. In the same way, you can adopt other fields, other words. Okay, like one beggar, a rich man, a house. It means there may be plot of stories on the basis of different words, and you will see that they have made marvelous stories, good stories. This is called story telling based pedagogy. Next one is standard pedagogy within each subject. When you are going to teach a subject in the classroom, you should see that chapter is related to other things also in the same book, in the same subject. Suppose you are teaching them science, and in science you are teaching them shelter. So what are the things that can be taught related to shelter to students? How shelter is made? What are the materials used? Which types of shelters are permanent? Which are not permanent or temporary? What is the need of shelter? Is shelter necessary only for man or animals and birds also? Should we destroy the shelter of animals or birds? It means you can relate many things. That is one point, but you will tell him many things related to that very chapter. That is called standard pedagogy within each subject. Next one is the relation among different subjects. How can we relate one chapter with many subjects? Suppose there is a chapter that is Ganga, the river Ganga. If we go in the class of literature, any literature teacher will tell that what will we tell about Ganga in the period of literature?
First of all, I will compose some lines on Ganga that when will describe the characteristics of Ganga, the origin of Ganga.
It means when a teacher of literature will go, that time he will tell about Ganga or origin of Ganga. Suppose a teacher of social studies goes to teach about Ganga. What will he teach? Is there any teacher of social studies? Yes?
Being next to teacher, sir.
Yes.
First of all, I will give importance about Ganga, river Ganga for our society. And originates Ganga and lastly, if Ganga is not, if Ganga is bad, then what, how many harmful effects for us?
And if there is a geography teacher, what will he tell about the Ganga?
From where Ganga is
Yes.
and at home Ganga is
Suppose there is a science teacher. Is there science teacher? Yes. What will you tell about Ganga? What will you find in Ganga related to science?
I will tell the students that the types of creatures living in the Ganga
Yes.
and how the human activity pollutes the Ganga.
Yes.
And how these pollutions affect their habitats of the living creatures. How our waste substances pollute the Ganga and how it affects their habitats, that means the aquatic habitats.
Very good, sir. And is there music teacher? If you will go in your class, what will you tell? You will tell any song? Song related to Ganga? Can you say any song? 2 lines related to Ganga? Well, 2 lines only. Decide 2 lines. 2 lines about any song which is related to Ganga. Yes, yes.
जिस पर जन्म लिया है जिसने बना किया है जीवन वो कैसा जीवन जिस पे अगर
Okay, thank you, sir. There are many songs related to Ganga. Mano to मैं गंगा माँ हूँ, ना मानो तो बहता पानी. It means the topic is the same, but in the classroom you can discuss different things related to Ganga. And the main aim of these training programs is that now you will not be the teacher of only Hindi, English or Sanskrit, You will be also the teacher of geography. You will be also the teacher of history. You will be the teacher of science. You will be teacher of sports. You will be the teacher of music. If you develop these all qualities in the classroom, that time children will learn a lot of things from your one topic. And this is needed, and that is called relation among different subjects. Now, where to apply this experiential learning? You can apply experiential learning in kindergarten. It is widely used in kindergarten. It means there are small children. That time, those children are taught on the basis of experiential learning. Here you should see children have made many types of flowers. Next one is in school. You can also apply experiential learning in schools. Next one is tertiary education. It means in colleges. In colleges too, experiential learning can be applied. And in adult education. Adult education, you understand, if there is any adult and he has not got education in his life or he is not literate, so experiential learning can be also applied there. And generally it is seen that there may be a child, he may be reading in graduation or he may be achieving master degree. But when there is any person in the house, his mother or father falls ill, that time it becomes a difficult task for that child what to do. Mother may be illiterate, father may be illiterate, but when the child is ill, that time there is no effect on mother or father. They know what to do. They just consult a doctor. And this happens on the basis of experience. And something is also done in house that can reduce our pain. And it happens on the basis of experience. So in adult education, it can also be applied. When we discuss about experiential learning, that time we should know work learning style. Work learning style means V means visual, A means auditory, R means reading or writing, and K means kinesthetic. What is this? By this, the next figure, you will understand. In auditory, there is lecture. By lecture, we understand 5%, 10% from reading, 20% from audio visual, 30% from demonstration, 50% from discussion, 75% from practice doing, and 90% when you teach others. So the teacher is a person who has a wide scope of learning, because you go in the classroom and you teach others. So when you are teaching any topic, that time you learn 90% of that very topic. That is called work learning style, auditory, visual, kinesthetic. It has been divided here. Learning is related to assessment. When there is learning, there should be assessment. Our NEP says there should be assessment as learning, assessment of learning, and assessment for learning. Learners must have 4 abilities. They must involve in experience, that is called experiencing. Next one is called reflecting. It means learners must be able to reflect on the experience. Third one is thinking, possess and use analytical skills. Acting, possess decision making and problem solving skills. By an example, I want to tell you here what is experiential learning and how does it help us. Suppose a person wants to learn how to ride a bicycle or how to ride a bike. What will he do? There will be 4 steps. Reflective observation. In reflective observation, he will think about riding and watch another person ride a bike. First of all, that thinking will come in his mind that I have to ride on a bike. After that, abstract conceptualization. He will understand the theory and he will have a clear grasp. What is the biking concept? Next one is concrete experience. He will receive practical tips and techniques from a biking expert. It means a person who knows how to ride on a bicycle. He will take tips from him. He will learn techniques from him. And the last one is active experimentation. He will leap on the bike. It means he will sit on the bike and start to go on a bike. You may have also done the same. When we learned how to ride a bicycle, what did we do? An experienced person was with us. He told you should just ride like this. And he sat on the seat of bicycle and started riding a bicycle. And he gave some tips. And he said, you should sit on the seat. I will hold from backside. And when we want to ride the bicycle, that time we feel problem in the beginning. But sometimes that experienced person pushes us and leaves. Many times we fall, but with the basis of experience, we learn it. There are 5 questions model in experiential learning. Did you notice? Why did that happen? Does that happen in life? Why does that happen? And how can you use that? Now, experiential learning is being used in schools. How is it used? It is used through debates. In each and every school, there is debate program at least once in a year. School camps, students go to camps, different camps. When I was entering here, that time I saw that there was a board of NCC. And when there is NCC, students go to camp, NCC camps, and they learn a lot of things. There, drills. In our time, school used to start with drill. And Saturday was especially for drill. Savdhan Visram. It was a necessary part of life. So through drill, experiential learning is implemented. Community service. This is a very good experiential learning. And we just saw in this pandemic, due to community service, people who were very poor, who were downtrodden, they can survive themselves. Even children help their society people with cloth, with food, with shop, with sanitizer. It means how can we help our community? And this should be taught in the schools. Study tours. This is also very popular. Whenever you will organize any tour or excursion, that time you will find that all the children are ready to go to tour. When they go there, they learn a lot of things. If you manage a tour of Vikramshila, that time you will see that when a student went to Vikramshila, they learned a lot of things from watching that. You can't teach those many things to students in the classroom. And if you tell them 4 or 5 sessions, they will not remember those things. But if they go to tour, they will tell you a lot of stories related to that very place. That is the effect of study tour. Case studies. Case studies is also a part of experiential learning. Science experiments. It is a part of our syllabus in higher classes, but experiment can also be done in lower classes. If you implement experiments in the lower classes, suppose you are teaching them parts of a plant and you pick any plant from the school campus and you go in the classroom and you show them root, leaves, flower. That is also a part of experiment. So science experiment is a part of experiential learning. Role playing. Students should given different roles to play. As here a child is playing the role of a doctor. Okay. You can also give students the role of teachers. Classroom games. There are many classroom games. What is the benefit of it? It makes learning relatable to students, increases the effectiveness of learning, links theory to practice, increases students' engagement, assists in memory retention, leads to development of skills for lifelong learning, experience real world, improve on the job performance, opportunities for creativity. And at last, play, learn, and grow together. As I had told you, it was so told that खेलोगे, कूदोगे, बनोगे खराब, पढ़ोगे, लिखोगे, बनोगे नवाब. But now the time has changed. खेलोगे, कूदोगे, पढ़ोगे, लिखोगे, तभी बनोगे नवाब. Thank you. Have a nice day. If you have any question in your mind, you can ask me. Yes, sir.
Sir, you are talking about pedagogy, and pedagogy means, I am well-trained mind, and pedagogy means well-trained mind. So why we are always talking about pedagogy? Why not we are talking andragogy? Well-trained mind and well-trained mind. So we have to teach andragogy, but not pedagogy.
Yes, you are right, sir. According to time we work. You are one step forward, and next step will be yours. Because in the beginning we learn how to add, after that subtract, and later on how to multiply. So now we are at the stage of pedagogy. Next step will be yours, sir. Okay. Anyone more? Okay, thank you. Have a nice day.
Now this is the end of Now, the first session has been ended. And after 5 minutes,
How does it help us?
the next session will start.
Suppose
Thank you.